based on what people have said around here, I understand the project. I see it as complying in some ways with our MTS, but the size has bothered people who've spoken around this table. For Mr. Morrison, if we changed it, let's say we said 60, if that was a figure, can we do that? Or is that, like, that's why I asked the question to the chair of the CDC, is can council change numbers at this late date?
I think council can ask what they wish. That's what this is all about. This debate is for us to decide what we would like. It's a counter. We've had an offer put to us. We've had some vetting through the different public areas and council itself now, and they can reject it in its entirety. They can modify it if the developer feels it's okay. We'd have to come back through council. Greg, you can correct me or at least direct us on the actual scope of all this. What's been recommended being amended in that fashion would probably require going through this exercise once again, but yeah, they can do what they want, I think, at this stage. But anyway, Greg.
Well, to a certain extent, Your Worship, it depends on what the developer wishes to do. I mean, technically, council is looking at a proposal and they're going to either approve it or reject it. Now, that might lead to negotiations if council rejected it. It might lead to the developer appealing to the Utility Review Board. So, you know, if the developer is still willing to further negotiate, then perhaps what you have to do is get some input from him either before you make a decision or make a decision to approve or reject. And if you reject, then I guess it'll be up to the developer whether you want to negotiate further or appeal to the Utility Review Board. So again, you have to have some input from the developer if you wish to start a new negotiation, if you will. But again, the technical issue is before you as to either approve or reject what you have in front of you.
Exactly. Well, I'll be up there on Friday. So anyway,
before you remove yourself, it seems to me that for us not to, I get the sense around the table that generally we think it's a good idea with changes. It seems to me we have an opportunity, the developer is here tonight, and for us to just say, because we're having a council debate, I would like us to have an enriched council debate by us, in fact, getting to the point of saying, what could we live with? What would we be wanting in this? And then, why not, since he's here, say, look, would you even consider that?
I think that comes out after the involved discussion of those types of things.
Excuse me.
Yes. I think that comes, like that particular part of your question, does that not come at the end of the participation sort of thing here? Where does council wish to go? What are we being directed to?
I think what the Deputy Mayor is suggesting is we could get some answers now, this evening, as to how things may evolve or how they might be able to be changed, which would then allow you to make a more informed decision. Otherwise, your decision is reject or accept.
Yeah, and I don't like that.
And we probably don't need to be that definitive because we could get some answers that I think are you know, all being expressed.
Yeah. Thank you.
Councilor Sparkman.
So we have one proposed amendment to this development agreement about the possible north exit, amending that particular clause so that it gives more surety and more protections to the railway trail. Are we able to make a second amendment about the 71 units? Can we just change that number without completely rejecting this? Can we amend it to put 3 units, for instance, or whatever the council decides the appropriate number is, and then approve or reject the
I think there's more to it than that. Okay. That's the way I see it. I think there's more to it than just that at this stage, but maybe Deputy Mayor Mangle.
Yeah, clearly, I wouldn't want to just say, we reject, because I don't sense that's where we're at. I sense we're at being able to accept this with some revisions. And so it seems to me the logical thing to do was say, look, can we first agree on what revisions we'd like, and then turn, because the developer is here, and say, what do you think of these revisions? Would you be able to live with it? Then everybody's satisfied by not everybody's satisfied, but we can be satisfied with our decision, and the developer could perhaps be satisfied, and if not, he's not, and then we would obviously need to consider, then do we need to reject? But it seems to me we're missing a golden opportunity.